Hey guys, here for another video. Just want to talk to you about an example of how to use these classes and methods when we create ourselves. So I'm going to show you a time class that we've created here. So I've scrolled in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit closer what this is. So if I wanted to create a class, I would want to say public class time. So I want to create a class called time, and I want a couple different variables inside that time class. So the variables that I want are hour, minute, and second. So I have int hour, int minute, and double second. It's double so we can have the decimal seconds. So that's the class declaration. Then we have the constructor. So this is the class constructor public time. So time is going to be the same name as this class right here. So we have time. And the three inputs that we have are hour, minute, and second, the same ones we have here. And we can see that we've constructed this object to have this hour, this minute, and this second, showing that we're going to be using this one specifically. So this hour will equal hour, this minute will equal minute, and this second will equal second. That's because we want to use these later on in the method, in different methods. So we have the get hour method. All this does is it takes in the hour integer and then returns that hour. Same thing with the minute, and same thing with the second. So we have the exact same things. We have the get hour method, the get minute method, and the get second method, all to return hours, minutes, and seconds that we'll be using in our increment methods. So why do we create these things? Why do we create this class? Why do we create these objects and these methods? So here's our first example of how we might use it. So let's say we have this clock, right? And so far it's only can tell hours. Our goal is to create a method that what it will do is increase our hours by 1 when we call this method. And if our hour is above 23, it will set our hour back to 0, showing the time change, the different day changes, so there's 24 hours in the day. So what will happen is if our hour, or we'll first say when we call this increment hour, we'll have our hour equal hour plus 1, showing that there's an increase in 1 there. If the hour is above 23, you'll use this condition. Then we'll set our hour equal to 0. So we set it back to 0 if it goes above 23. And then it finally returns the hour. And we can see that it's returning an hour. That's an integer. So we see public int increment hour because we want to return int. So we want to put an int right here. Similar to minute, where if we want to increase the minutes every time a minute goes up, we say minutes equals minute plus 1. So we're increasing it by 1. Same thing here. We have 59 minutes in an hour. So we say if the minute is above 59, we're going to set our minutes back down to 0, showing that increase in 1 hour. But we also have to call the increment hour method that we just created, because what happens when we go all the way to 59 minutes, an hour increases. So if it was like 1 o'clock and 59 minutes and a minute increases, it'll be 2 o'clock. So the hour will increase, like the increment hour, and the minutes will increase from 59 to 60, but because 60 is above 59, what's going to happen is our minute's going to go back down to 0, and then it's going to return the minute. And then last but not least, we have these two things. I did the same thing for seconds. This isn't necessary, but it's the exact same idea, where if the seconds are above 59, it increases the minute. The exact same method here, but it uses seconds instead. And the last thing we are doing just right here is I'm going to return just an hour in a minute. So this is what it's doing. This method wants to put out a string. So I call it toString. So we're forming the stuff that we did into a string, and we're returning the hour. So let's say it's 3 that we figured out, and then it'll have a regular colon and then a minute. So it would be like 3:52, something like that in minutes. And that's the way you construct a class and the different methods that might be used in the class. I'll have more videos out later, but this should get you head started on levels 1 and 2 on your activities. All right, Have a great day, guys.